think. Hopefully. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the endocrine system. I talked a little bit about there in the nervous system. We have two systems that communicate to all of our cells because we're made up of 60 to 100 trillion cells. Like that's mind-blowing how many cells that is. And so if each of those cells were to function kind of independently of one another, it'd be like having a massive city with no stoplights and things like that. It would just be chaos, right? So we have two systems which integrate and coordinate all of the cells so that they work together in their systems and so that the systems work together. So we have the nervous system and the endocrine system. The nervous system is designed for rapid communication, right? Just like a phone call. Ring, ring, hello, yes, I need you to do something. And then the message is delivered and the phone is hung up and it's all done, right? So it's really quick communication. The endocrine system is much more like snail mail. So you write the letter, seal the letter, put it in the mail. Takes a while to get to where it's going. Once it finally gets to where it's going, you can open it up, you can read the instructions or the letter, the information, and then it takes a while before that thing wears out and it gets disintegrated and you throw it away eventually. So it's a slower process, but longer lasting. Okay, so the nervous system is like your brain, your spinal cord, and all the nerves that are interacting. The endocrine system is a system of glands that are located throughout your body. There's a pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal glands, and glands with the reproductive system. Okay? And they all kind of, most of them work together. Some of them are a little bit independent. The pituitary gland we call the master gland because it secretes hormones that can control some of the other glands. Okay, and so it's composed of several glands. They produce and they release hormones. Now what hormones are very, very powerful chemicals that are released into the blood in a tiny, tiny amount, but because they're so powerful, they can cause an effect on, they travel throughout the body and they can cause an effect on all kinds of cells, as long as the cell has the receptor for that hormone. If the cell doesn't have the receptor for it, then the hormone just passes it by, doesn't do anything to it. Okay? The key point to endocrine hormones, endocrine literally means that they are traveling in the blood. So once you inject anything in your blood, it can pass by every cell of the body. Because no cell in your body is further away than maybe 2 cells away from a blood vessel. They're all that close. So diffusion out of the blood to those cells means that they're going to encounter the hormone, every cell in the body. And if they have a receptor site for the hormone, then it can cause that cell to change its behavior. If they don't have a receptor site for the hormone, then they don't care about that hormone. Okay? So there's 2 different types of hormones, right? There's steroid hormones and there's protein hormones. These guys are fat soluble, which is basically what our cell membrane is made of. Kind of, it's a phospholipid bilayer, they call it, which means it's a bunch of fat that surrounds the cell. And because they're fat soluble and they're small, then as they're traveling through the blood vessel, they're always going to diffuse from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. So they're going to move out, and once they move out, they can actually diffuse right through the cell membrane into the cell, and then they're going to bind with receptor sites that are inside the cell, likely on the nucleus, and they're going to cause that cell then to change its behavior. Maybe to speed up its metabolism, maybe to produce something that it wasn't producing, maybe to grow, all kinds of things that it can do. Okay, so we call that a one messenger model. The hormone itself is the messenger that tells the cell what to do.
Okay.
And it's able to do that because they're small and it's easy for them to get inside. Okay, with protein hormones or water-soluble hormones, they're going to need somebody to answer the door. They're going to need the butler to come and see who's ringing the doorbell, right? Because they're too big to get inside.
Okay.
And so protein hormones, same thing, they travel through the blood. They're going to diffuse out of the blood to the cell. But the receptors for these guys will be actually on the cell membrane. So they're going to get there, knock on the door. The second messenger, the butler, cyclic AMP, is inside there, the cell already. And it's going to say, oh, someone's at the door. I'll go tell the boss.
Oh, okay.
So it's the second messenger that's going to activate the cell. Well, it's the hormone that activates the cell, but it's the second messenger that's going to tell the nucleus that the hormone's actually there.
Okay.
Receptors outside versus receptors inside. That's the only big difference. Larger, smaller, not able to diffuse in, able to diffuse in.
Okay.
Okay? That's the very first basic part about hormones, how they travel and the two different types.
Okay.